Sometimes the nights got me aching, working hours in the cold. And I can't imagine how it feels to end up where you feel you had to go. I've been lost, starving, praying nothing else will go wrong. I guess we're all dying, waiting for the world to lose control. Could you tell me what it's really like to feel like you've got the world by your side? 'Cause trust me, babe, I've done my good, give all I had and a little more than I should. Got the sense that I ain't made for much, 'cause what I feel is never understood.
Welcome to WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. How y'all doing tonight? It is a fine Monday evening here in hell. It is time to say hello to the gang. The anti-corporatist, hello. Saucy Sea Witch, hello. Wireless Mike, Pinkerbell, good to see you, good to see you. And I have to say, first, officially, according to my records, goes to Johnny Too Late FTV. Well done, Johnny. You were early enough that the vast majority didn't see the victory. Got the trophy emoji. We are going to go over news items, mostly just for the sake of saying we talked about it, getting your guys' thoughts. And I might do a what you can do about those items, but I have just one for you tonight, just one ready to go, because I think it's good, and it is exactly the sort of thing that, how do I put this, has been a persistent American woe. It's been a persistent American problem. And it's a very good example of how the average folks get screwed over with regularity. In fact, so much regularity that we don't even notice it. It's just one of those things about our lives which is hard and doesn't have to be. But it's difficult and expensive, of course, as always, for the betterment of somebody who's already rich. Let's get to it. Let's say hello to the gang. Dominico, good to see you as well. Wireless Mike, the anti-corporatist, Saucy Sea Witch, everybody who's joining us for the start. Hey, I love singing the praises of my home state. That's Michigan. Fortunately, sometimes I gotta talk about when it's not so good. Here's one such time. Right? Yeah. Yep. Sometimes Michigan elects good representatives. Sometimes we embarrass ourselves. Like, for example, when we put people in charge who believe in the great replacement theory. You're not familiar. Long, long time ago. There was a bunch of racists that wanted to rile people up, get them angry with the Jews. And the way they did that is they said that they found on a dead Jewish soldier a handbook for how the Jews plan to take over the world. As you well know, it's very common for large organizations to have their full and complete plans on the persons of every one of their expendable, capturable soldiers. That sounds like nonsense. It's because it is. You don't need to be terribly bright to create something that's going to fool people who want to believe dumb things to begin with. But part of that handbook that was claimed to be found was the Great Replacement Theory. Again, totally nonsensical, a piece of anti-Semitic propaganda that was being spread around in the early 20th century. And it said that they wanted to replace the populations just by having babies of various countries. Well, it was such a popular little slogan, great replacement theory, that it spread its nasty tendrils out, and all kinds of folks who don't quite have the guts to say they just don't like a certain group of people now use that instead. Sort of like how racists these days say they're against DEI instead of saying they're against hiring black folks. It's that. Here's a Michigan lawmaker who just lost all of his staff because he was such a racist. Imagine such a racist that you lose all of your Republican staff. That means that you're not only racist, you are an unsubtle racist. Thank you, Abe. Republican Michigan lawmaker loses staff and committee assignment after online racist post. Thankfully shortened to the point this article is by Ed White. Thank you, Mr. White. A Republican lawmaker in Michigan lost his committee assignment and his staff Monday, days after posting an image of racist ideology on social media. House Speaker Joe Tate, a Democrat who is black, said he will not allow the House to be a forum for racist, hateful, and bigoted speech. Thank you, Joe Tate. You're actually bringing some pride back to the state. State Rep Josh Shriver, a person who if I haven't talked about before, I'm shocked because he is an utter embarrassment. I guess I'm not that shocked because he is an utter embarrassment. Who is white, shared a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, that showed a map of the world with black figures greatly outnumbering white figures, along with the phrase, the Great Replacement. The conspiracy theory says there's a plot to diminish the influence of white people. Shriver, who represents portions of Oakland and Macomb counties, Oakland and Macomb counties, it won't shock you, they're very suburban, can vote on the House floor. But Tate removed him from a committee and told the House Business Office to oversee his staff members who can still assist constituents. As in, I'm not working for this racist trash anymore, but I haven't lost my job. Good. Representative Shriver has a history of promoting debunked theories and dangerous rhetoric that jeopardizes the safety of Michigan residents and contributes to a hostile and uncomfortable environment for others, Tate said. Message-seeking comment from Shriver wasn't immediately returned. I realize Ed White did the extra effort here of digging up Shriver's point of view, but I'm going to do the classic local news thing. If you didn't have the wherewithal to respond to an earnestly sent message, then your voice isn't heard. You had an opportunity to defend yourself, you didn't. I don't care to hear any more from Shriver. I'll tell you this, though, fellow Michiganders, you got an opportunity to redeem yourselves, for God's sake. You elected that trash. You elected a guy that was so racist, his staff of Republicans refused to work with him. What's the matter with you? Embarrassing me like this in front of the world? Ridiculous. Elect anyone better. Someone with just a shred of sense in their head. Hopefully enough that they're not racist. I know that'll bum you out, people that apparently voted for this scum to begin with. But at least somebody who can just go back to being regular Republican racist. Just voting for things that incidentally will wind up affecting black folks more in a second or third order way. No, I'm dripping with sarcasm. Have some honor. Put a decent person in office. You've embarrassed yourself, me, the whole state by putting this person in charge. Good news, though. Great thing to look at if you want to know how to get rid of the filth that is muddying up our country's reputation in your state. Make the staff embarrassed to be associated with this person. Make anybody who is associated with this person embarrassed to be associated with them. When you write to their office, address the staff. Doesn't it embarrass you? X, Y, and Z who works there, doesn't it embarrass you? Have your name tied to the antics of Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz? Do you personally ever plan to be taken seriously? Because I can't. Anybody that works with this clown, I can never take seriously. And if you imagine having a future in politics in this state, you better be gone from the employ of the clown you work for now. Fill in the blank with any MAGA psychopath that is on the books. Contact any office in your state that has one of these scumbags. Ask the staff point blank, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you personally? Why are you helping this horrible excuse for a human being? I came this close to calling them a human. Driver is not. He is some sort of a demon wearing the skin of a man. Fortunately, that's become obvious enough that he no longer has his committee assignment, and he no longer has a staff to help him do the devilry. Let's see what you guys have to say. Excessive audio, hello. Wireless mic, my big dumb racist uncle was warning me about whites becoming a minority back in the 80s. Oy, gavul, that hurts. Pinkerbell, these dunder-headed silly... Let me try that again. That was excellent. These dunder-headed silly have been crying about white people being replaced for so long. They were originally crying about being replaced by other white people. Yeah. Yeah. And, the heck of it is, imagine we are place. And white people do become not the majority, or at least not the super majority. That's only a dangerous thing in the world conservatives want to create. In a world built by progressives, you're fine. Nothing changes. At least, nothing has to change. In a world built by progressives, it's not a dangerous thing to be in the minority. But these folks who are concerned about that know damn well they've made it a dangerous thing. So they're terrified of the prospect. It's a great chance to, you're probably not going to sway their mind like this, but maybe you will. Regardless, you'll have them do some soul searching. Great chance to ask them. They think the world they're creating is dangerous for a minority. Why are they afraid of being a minority? How does it feel to be a minority now in the United States? Might you wonder? Should we not put in protections for minorities? Make sure that, there's not some sort of a systematic oppression of them. Worth thinking about. You fucking traffic pylons. Get very angry with. Oh, good to see Obsessive Audio. These people complain about population and birth rate decline, and then they complain about immigration. The math speaks for itself, yeah. Anti-corporatist putting it very well. If you think you are soon to be a minority, cement rights for all. That's it exactly. Yeah. Well put. What have I done? Oh, here it is. Here's something fun. We're going to look at an article by The Guardian. Yeah. Not exactly my paper of record, but time to time they accidentally find themselves in a position to speak the truth. This is from Martin Pengelly, by the way. Not sure if I put that in the description or not. Oh, mercy me. Extra long limp. Well, wouldn't you just know it? Apparently, and brace yourselves, because this is going to be kind of a shock. Apparently, Trump either doesn't understand or doesn't care about U.S. alliances. Here's The Guardian. Yeah, Trump encouraged Russia to attack NATO allies. Here's a real quick overview. I'll give you some advanced politics here of international diplomacy. Brace yourself. I'm going to expand some minds. If you sign a military defensive pact with a bunch of other countries, actually quite frowned upon if you then encourage somebody to attack those countries which you've sworn to defend. I know, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in, so I'll say it again. If you have a defensive alliance where you agree to defend each other from attacks, it's dumb to encourage another country to attack any of those allies. Trump was not quite able to wrap his mind around that. I mean, obviously, I'm calling him dumb, and that's a mercy. He just doesn't give a damn, and neither do his followers. But this ought to be taken seriously, and you should make sure that anybody you are aware of that is considering voting for Trump, as in they call themselves a centrist, and they're saying, well, I don't know. I voted for Trump in 2016, but not in 2020. But I might vote for it. Those people exist. We'll show them this. Matter with you is the question to ask them. Show this to, I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking probably to a couple of folks in the live chat, but show this to our friends on the left who are saying, I'm gonna do a protest vote and throw away my presidential vote, the 2020 election. I find Biden distasteful. That I at least can respect. But here's my I beg to differ. That's who you're getting instead. Right there. Guy that says Russia ought to attack our allies. Let's read the dirty deeds. Again, by Martin Pengelly, just to make sure we're crediting the author here, a leading Republican senator said Donald Trump was simply ringing the warning bell. Well, that's all he was doing. Baby boy. When he caused global alarm by declaring he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who did not pay enough to maintain the alliance. as Trump's party closed ranks behind its presumptive presidential nominee. That's extortion. That's literally extortion. Better give us more money, or maybe that guy comes knocking. NATO countries that don't spend enough on defense, like Germany, truly, are already encouraging Russian aggression, and President Trump is simply ringing the warning bell. Tom Cotton, one of the dumbest creatures ever conceived of, from Arkansas, a former soldier, somehow he didn't shoot himself with his own gun, told the New York Times, "Strength, not weakness, deters aggression. Russia invaded Ukraine twice under Barack Obama and Joe Biden, not under Donald Trump. First time that was under Obama's watch. And by the way, we embarrassed ourselves. We just let them have Crimea. That is a mark of shame that in happier times, when we don't have to worry about an actual coup, I'm going to talk about more. Because that's, in my opinion, Obama's great shame as a president. But let's be clear. Trump tried to extort Zelensky for a scandal on Biden, and it was his display of the weakness of our alliance that encouraged Russia to attack. Cotton was referring to the annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. As president between 2017 and 2021, Trump was widely held to have shown alarming favor and arguably subservience. How embarrassing is that? Subservience to Vladimir Putin. Yeah, you remember when our CIA said that Russia had, I don't remember the details, so let me make it vague. Had military aggression against the U.S. I think attacked some of our soldiers. And then Trump was standing next to Putin in a press conference and said he trusted Putin over our military intelligence. Real strong man, huh? Real strong, real tough guy. Coward. As president, he talked about that. Trump made the controversial remarks at a rally South Carolina on Saturday. Look, he says things he doesn't mean, and he does things without understanding the consequences, all under the assumption that the messes he makes will be cleaned up for him by people whose job it is to clean up baby boy's messes. And his entire life he's been correct. It's up to you, America. It truly is. Stop this nonsense. Can't have him as president. You could have no desire to have any military alliances at all. And you could probably convince me of that stance if you believe it in earnestness and you have good reasoning. Probably convince me. But the fact that we do currently have military alliances means we better fulfill them. We better not play around with them. Otherwise, we get into our next kerfuffle and we turn and reach out a hand. Maybe that hand isn't there. Pull us up. Maybe we don't have friends ready to pull us out of the darkness. Because we're fair weather friends ourselves. A word means nothing. The fact that there are any Americans at all who would consider voting for this clown after he said that is alarming. Now, you know someone in the military who is a Trump supporter. Show them this and shame them. Say, I don't think you truly understand what he said. I don't think you truly understand the purposes of these alliances. What you've demonstrated to me is you can have a career in the military and have no idea how war works. What an embarrassment. Don't just let somebody casually say they support Trump without bringing up stuff like this. Really? So you support somebody who jeopardizes our most important military alliance, like on Earth, our most important military alliance, that alliance with NATO, that alliance which has stopped world wars. How could I take any opinion you have about anything seriously ever again? At least until you stop having this one really terrible idea. Good question to ask. RFK Jr. is the obvious choice? Wait a minute. Saucy Sea Witch. Canada is going to be the cherry on top. We have water, resources, and space to build. We are in the middle of Putin and Trump. There have been psychops working overtime to divide Canadians. True. Yeah. I mean, as the temperature changes, it's around the world. It's going to be continuing to nicer and nicer looking place for folks. Wireless mic. What a nice country you've got. All right, let me try it again. What a nice country you've got here. Would be a shame was something to happen to it. Wanna be my boss, Blump. Yeah. I couldn't decide if I want to do a Trump voice or I don't know what it was. The anti-corporatist, never mind. Obsessive audio. The Trump speak inspires adversaries and worries allies. Yeah. Yeah, it really, I mean, truly, just his campaign is weakening the Saucy Sea Witch, the RFK Jr. one is sarcasm, lol, but I forget that has died. Thank you so much for clarifying that for me. I was genuinely worried. And in context, it's funny, yeah. I've had people, and let me just throw this at you. I've had people who follow politics somewhat closely, who are Democrats, who have asked me with genuine concern and alarm why I don't think RFK Jr. is a serious choice for office. What? Oh, you don't like RFK? Why not? That's what I got. I think it's that he's just fringe enough that he hasn't been seriously covered by the networks. But his anti-vax conspiracy nonsense, his belief that Wi-Fi is making people sick, and professed belief. He's just become a con artist that I don't think has an interesting enough con to get covered by the news. My point only being, there's lots of people that think he's a serious choice, and it Wanda, good to see you. Pinkerbell, there's so many normal people who are going to pull the lever for Trump because he's a Republican. Nothing can convince them that Democrats aren't worse monsters. I really want work on that as the major project. I think we need to do away with the news sources. Yeah, let's call us what it is. We need to do away with the misinformation sources. That's what needs to be attacked. Because these politicians are the result of misinformation sources working overtime. But I don't have a good answer for that. All I have right now is hassling governors on who've defrauded the government, and that's fun. But we need. I feel that the next great crusade is against the actual misinformation sources, getting people in mass to drop Fox. I have no idea how we would do that, and I don't want to do it by lying. That's the main thing. I'm willing to, but I don't want. I want to reach people with technology. Wanda M. Unfortunately, the Senate. Now maybe we just do a show where we're talking to Fox viewers. Fox Hunt. All right. Wanda M. Unfortunately, the Senate is competitive since our former governor Larry Hogan is running for the Senate in Maryland. He won 2 terms as a Republican governor in our blue state. The race is competitive. Damn. Let me know if you wanna some help making calls. I'm happy to. Wireless Mike, Putin has already said that Alaska was an illegal purchase. Come on and try it, Vlad. You Ruski mother. I can't wait. Come on and try it. Oh, Trump will just give it to him. I won't let that sale happen. Physically. The anti-corporatists. It's not the Wi-Fi. It's the 5G. Obsessive audio. Yes. More lawsuits against the disinfo news. Good. The anti-corporatists. I have been seeing less Trump sides on the road. Excellent. There's still more than I'd like. Oh, good. Pinkerbell's saying she's seen less here, too. I think people are embarrassed to show it publicly, but will still vote for him. Hey, embarrassed to show it publicly is a good start. In the bell curve, Trump's popularity, it started with being too embarrassed to show it. Then it went to they were proud to show it. If we're back to too embarrassed, we're getting somewhere. I think when it comes to him, the major thing to keep bringing up so that it worms its way into their smooth brains is that Trump lies to them. He lies to them. He lies to us all, but the point that they need to understand is they are being lied to by Trump time and time again. And then just ask them the question they can't answer. Why did he need to lie to you? Why does he need you to be operating with incomplete or wrong information? Why is that? I want to bust the chops of an evil company now, and there is a great way to do it that saves you money. There's few things I enjoy more than when you can both save a buck and screw over a rich person. It feels good. Feels right. 4 years now, you live in the United States of America. Your lives have been made more inconvenient due to a company called TurboTax. Intuit TurboTax. Product called TurboTax, I guess I should say, by Intuit. They have lobbied to make it difficult for you to file your taxes. I don't like the guy all that much, but credit to Joe Biden because of a rule he put in place, which now means you don't need a software program like TurboTax to be able to do your taxes reasonably, at least if you live pilot state. Here's a video we looked at 6 months ago. We're going to look at it again because it explains the problem well. I got the solution on the other side.
When it comes to filing taxes online, the status quo is unacceptable.
The United States is really an outlier among wealthy countries in how we do tax prep.
It's absurd that American taxpayers have to pay to fulfill a civic obligation.
In 1 year alone, they estimated 14 million Americans had paid for tax prep software that they should have been able to get for free, generating at least $1 billion in a single year of revenue for the tax prep companies like Intuit.
And that's because the tax prep companies sabotaged the program so they could keep raking in money.
Every year, the United States government requires taxpayers to file our taxes. Americans spend a total of 1.7 billion hours and $31 billion each year just to comply with the law, largely using private tax preparers.
All right, hold on. Hold on just a moment.
$31 billion each year.
Let's go over the basics up on the screen there right now, because I feel like we don't really appreciate that stuff, even though we see it all the time. Americans had 1.7 billion hours of their effort taken away. That could have been 1.7 billion hours going into writing books, inventing things, painting things, raising kids, fixing the house, mowing the lawn, repairing potholes, baking bread, trying to make a souffle, and failing, but learning something about making souffles. Making a sculpture, fixing a doorbell, fixing a railing, shopping for couches. 1.7 billion hours of life, of progress, of usefulness stolen. In addition, $31 billion that could have gone to funding schools, paving roads, buying a new car, going out to dinner, buying new fancy jeans, new shoes, repairing an iPhone, taking a class. $31 billion that could have been spent in other ways in the economy. Could have gone to something that was actually needed in the economy. But instead, because of the efforts of these 1.7 billion hours of our lives and $31 billion of our time was stolen for no reason in order to do a task which has been made arbitrarily tricky by a group who exists only to provide the solution to a problem they're keeping around.
Just to comply with the law, largely using private tax preparers like TurboTax and H&R Block. But what if all of that could be different? What if it could be easier? What if it could be free?
Across the world, there are a few different ways that taxes can be filed. The three sort of main ways are direct file, pre-populated returns, and return-free filing. Direct file, which is in question with the IRS today, is a form of filing in which you have a form with questions and you basically just answer the questions to be able to file your taxes. Pre-populated returns are a little bit easier for the taxpayer because portions of that form are already pre-filled for them. Return-free filing, which 30 countries around the world and many of our peer countries already have, is a type of filing in which the public tax agency does all of the work for you without the constituent doing much more than just approving or fixing maybe any errors that come through at the very end.
Now, that is not the solution we currently have. Not the solution we currently have. But remember that as a solution. They call it return-free filing. Remember that the next time you hear about there being no jobs or there being an unemployment problem, suggest to your representatives that they create jobs in the form of government employees who will do your taxes for you. They send you either a check or a bill and the means to check their work if you are so inclined. That's what you get April 14th, either a check or a bill. Not a heart attack because you're double timing it. Try to get to the post office. Either a check or a bill. That's it. A little packet that lets you double check it if you want to double check their work. So care to. Solve one problem while making your lives easier. Need some jobs? There you go. Jobs. Make our life easier, government. Don't run things the way Republicans want to, which is to make our lives constantly more stressful so that we turn to billionaires and give them just a little bit more of our money as we beg to be let out of our needlessly stupid responsibility.
Approving or fixing maybe any errors that come through at the very end. Oddly enough, in the US context, none of these three are currently at play when you file your federal tax returns.
But
No more. The Inflation Reduction Act by President Biden has changed that. At least it's allowed for a pilot program. Pilot program, as it so happens, that looks like this. This right, y'all. You can direct file now. You can direct file if you live in Arizona, California, Florida, Massachusetts, Nevada, hello there, Foxy, New Hampshire, New York, South Dakota, Tennessee, Mike, Texas, Pink, Washington State, and Wyoming. You can absolutely have a version of TurboTax or H&R Blocks, whatever the hell, provided for you by the IRS, like it should have always been at a minimum. The link's in the description. You don't have to pay anybody any money to have your tax form simplified and brought into the 21st century, like it should have been as soon as we got to the 21st century. There, go ahead, use it. It's a pilot program, so let them know how you enjoyed it. Tell them you want it expanded to other states. I will. Sure wish Michigan did that. They don't. Shame we couldn't be a part of it. That's the answer. If you get this going, if we collectively tell the government we enjoyed this, we want more of it, this is the obvious answer. I am annoyed that we're even debating it at this point. We'll be slaying a pretty big dragon. TurboTax need not exist. They've taken a couple $100 of my money over the years. Hell of a lot of my time. And they've used some of the money I gave them to do my taxes to lobby the government to make it impossible to do my taxes without them. And statistically speaking, they've done the same to a hell of a lot of you too. Let's take revenge. Let's kill their whole company. If you live in one of those states, use that to do your taxes. All of us, use that link, contact our representatives, tell them, I want this, direct filing, direct free filing. I want this in my state. I'm sick of TurboTax. Because that's why. See what the gang has to say. The anti-corporatists, if it makes you feel any better, the least I have paid to have my taxes filed the last decade was in 2015 when it only cost me $420. Mother of God, it does make me feel better. It does not. Tinkerbell, well, now I'm extra mad. Well, hey, you're in one of the you're in one of the states that can right now this year do something about it. And all you have to do is save yourself some money. Use that link. File your taxes directly to the U.S. government. Do not purchase TurboTax. Not purchase H&R Block or any other filing software. Just use that. You'll be striking a blow for the goodies. Elaine Sharp, we Canadians do it on the websites for free. Listen here, Canada. What you're doing right now is helpful. Spread this around. You will be probably not surprised, but just let me imagine that you would be surprised at how Americans truly do not realize how screwed over we have been, how gullible we have been. Talk about your health care. Talk about your tax filing for free online. Talk about the stuff you have that we don't, so that we get jealous. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing it here. Keep it up elsewhere. Because we will not, we've demonstrated we're not bright enough to figure out we're being screwed over until we see somebody not being screwed. Letter hack, I file as a, good to see you, by the way. I file as a contractor, but at least I can write off the cost of filing my taxes the next year. Fair enough. Donald James, I'm in California. I'm lucky if I were to pay taxes. Oh my God, Pinkerbell, I already filed it. It cost me $160. Oh no. The anti-corporatist, and also I can write off $69 per day as a per diem. Yeah, we're in hell. The U.S. is, I mean, it's kind of good. The good news is we're realizing how bad it's been, I think. As a people, we're realizing how bad it has been. And there's something to be said for that. At least it's somewhere where we can start. Oh, God. All right, gang. I got one for you. That it's one of those where I'm not not excited to sing this person's praises, but it's I have to acknowledge that it's better than if they did something to piss me off more. Well, despite being the world's dumbest dumbass and posting the Dark Brandon meme right as Israel was creating a fresh new war crime in defiance of the International Court of Justice, Joe Biden actually did something for once that at least has a faint hint of resistance to Israel's genocide. Here it is. Actual tangible progress. Filed under, of course, not nearly good enough, a subsection of why have you ever vetoed anything that the UN put forward asking Israel not to murder innocent people. But nonetheless, Biden slaps new international law requirements on nations receiving U.S. military aid. Oh ho. President Joe Biden has issued a national security memorandum requiring foreign governments receiving U.S. military aid to provide written assurance that the assistance will be used in compliance with international law. Let me jump through the chain of events. Israel will not provide written assurance. Joe Biden will pretend like that never happened. You and I will make a big stink about it. Joe Biden will say that Israel must comply, and then Israel will continue to ignore it. If they do provide the written assurance that they will not yada, 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 they will continue acting exactly as they have acted. I understand all of that. This is nonetheless a good thing. Moving on, we're going to get to why it's a good thing. The White House's demands for extra accountability issued Friday. Additionally, a day you release things when you don't want a lot of people to hear about it. And that'll work with the crowd he's trying to avoid hearing about this, which is centrists, who are dumb. White House's demand for extra accountability issued Friday takes place as Biden has ramped up his criticism of Israel's military campaign in Gaza, calling the continuing assault on Hamas over the top last week. Well, Biden's ultimatum was not aimed at any specific country, of course. It was noteworthy as it came on the heels of concerns voiced by lawmakers regarding Israel's Gaza campaign amid increasing accusations of genocide. Don't gloss over that. Voiced by lawmakers, you say. Voiced by lawmakers. As in, you wrote your representatives. Your representatives spoke about this and reflected your opinions. That made Biden go, and put out this pussy little, put out this very gentle chastisement of it. Senator Chris Van Hollen, a Democrat from Minnesota, last year proposed a budget amendment in which military aid would be similarly subject to international law compliance, but now says he will withdraw it in light of Biden's order. why would you withdraw that? His actually has some teeth. The military aid requires international law to be followed, whereas Biden's requires a letter and a pinky swearsies to be given. Dumb. But at least he, had the thing to withdraw in the first place. All of these key elements of the amendment have now been incorporated into the national security. No, they haven't. National security memo issued by the president, he said incorrectly. Van Hollen and more than a dozen Democratic lawmakers welcomed Biden's latest move, saying it would put additional guardrails on the government of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to protect human rights. Because we succeeded in getting the provisions of the amendment adopted as a matter of U.S. government policy, we will no longer be seeking a vote on the amendment because we've accomplished our goal now, assistance of the president and the administration. Van Hollen added. Here's the thing, no, they didn't. What they got was a much weaker version. They said, we are not going to put forward this vote, which would be bad politically because the centrist Democrats want people to go on slaughtering Palestinians. And people that pay attention to the world events and understand how the world works and have a fucking brain in their skulls want the genocide to stop. Basically, Van Hollen, I assume, was begged to withdraw his bill in exchange for this thing. Why is it a good thing, though? Why is it a good thing? It shows Biden feels pressure. Biden at least understands that this is a political loser for him. Good. Keep doing what you're doing. Write your representatives with regularity. I hope you have saved the link to finding your representatives. If not, pretty easy to Google it. If not, I can provide that link in the comments as well, and I'm happy to. Because there is literally nothing more effective that you can do. The people who are in charge, making the laws, of deciding what our country, and at least in the U.S., so in Canada and England and New Zealand with the MP system, the people who represent us can be contacted in literally seconds. And they almost never are. So often, we moan about the things our representatives do. And when I ask the person doing the complaining, when's the last time you told your representative how you feel about anything, they answer never. I've never express to them what I think about this, that, or the other thing. So we're apparently trying to elect mind readers. Great. You might be thinking, well, how come they should know how I feel already? What, are they dumb? Yes! They're dumb. And they're stressed. And they're vain. Scared and they're small. Like all of us. We elect human beings. Tell them how you feel. Tell them you want peace in the Middle East. Tell Joe Biden that when Israel breaks their word, or if they fail to send a letter, you would like the military aid to stop. And if he has constituents who are going to complain about it, point to this moment right here and say all they had to do, tell us they weren't going to commit war crimes. They were unable to do that. We're not in the business helping war criminals. Ooh, saucy sea witch. You're throwing shapes I like. Crush big oil. Yes, please. Yes, please. Do it. Saucy sea witch. Trudeau has been. I am exiting Discord. I do apologize. Saucy saying Trudeau has been careful with his words. Some say he is not going far enough, and others say he's being anti-Semitic. If somebody's saying he's being anti-Semitic, you can basically assume that they know nothing about what's going on. Obsessive audio, and Ukraine still can't get a dozen F-16. Maddening. Obsessive audio. The Hague, February 12th, Reuters. A Dutch court on Monday ordered the government to block all exports of F-35 fighter jet parts Israel over concerns they were being used to violate international law. Yeah, they were. And excellent. Way to go, The Hague. And thank you, Obsessive Audio. The letter hack. Lindsey Graham and I are practically pen pals at this point. I love it. Excellent. Ooh, AC saying Mike is right. Let me jump up to wireless mic. The public face of international diplomacy isn't reflective of what actually goes on behind the scenes. We don't hear about the real talks till after it's all said and done. Yes and no. They take their cues from the American people when they realize the American people are watching. Do understand a lot of the plans that are made and frankly committed to are done so by a group of folks who have been in the game since people didn't pay attention to things that would shock you. We okayed in the U.S. the invasion of multiple countries without any understanding of what was actually going on. The thinnest of lies is all we needed. We have okayed the overthrow of countries in the global South, which to this day have still made the conflicts rage on without any understanding of what was going on or why. Just they're commies. They make these huge decisions thinking we're not paying attention. But the people who are around now, whatever generation you come from, now we pay attention. So reminding them, or rather informing them, that we are now paying attention will affect international diplomacy. Yet, you are correct that we will usually hear about second, third, or fourth order issues about it. Or rather, statements. We will not be privy to the negotiations as they are happening. Informed that they're happening once a conclusion has been reached. Fair enough, AC. The letter hack. Well, Graham just keeps writing back to tell me he got my letter. That's fair. Mercy me. The anti-corporatists, I'm sure that our Canadian friends are having problems with the corrupting effect of Israeli money and propaganda too, right? I'm assuming so, based on the fact that people were calling Trudeau anti-Semite. Saucy saying there is actually an issue with a protest circuit where groups of the same people are being paid by their various organizations for making life hell in Ontario. You know what I think the answer is for that? Showing up at protests and interviewing the same people over and over and over again, and asking them often, oh, and were you paid to be? That'd be interesting to do. See if they give the same answers to questions. That'd be fun. I'd take a whack at that. But that does require money to travel around. That I don't have. Related note. Want to help the stream? Share it. Play those videos that have ads on them. And share those on your social media if you think they're good. frankly. Yeah, I was gonna do the whole begging for money. But here's the thing: if it's good, you'll want to share it. So never mind. Share it if you think that it's a good. Share it if you think it's the kind of quality your old pal Jake should do. Much like talking to your representatives. Give me feedback in the comments. Tell me when you got bored in the comments. I got skin thicker than a baseball glove's leather. So yeah, tell me when you got bored in the comments. There. You want to help the stream? Tell me how I'm bad so I can get good. Get y'all some buddies who want to help make the world a better place. Have perhaps less patience for nonsense. Okay. Before we go, I want to now look at some suggestions dropped in the Discord. Members have access to our Discord. It is intentionally so that I can slow things down. Oh my. So that I can slow things down and actually get to son of a gun. All right, here we go. Wicked Foxy Dragon. Oh, is this live now? Oh, fuck. Never mind. One moment. Oh, guys, providing a lot of links to the Mayorkas impeachment. Oh, good. Thank you for the 30 links to the same thing. Okay. There we go. All right. Got a suggestion from Pinkerbell here. It's wireless mic. Who's complaining? Me, but I just like. Dominico, this stream is an is an edge of your seat thriller, action packed. Oh my god. Anti-corporatist, you generous SOB, with a $9.99 super chat. KK, I posted it to my community. Goddamn champion. Thank you, my friend. Well, I'm going to we're gonna play some viewer suggestions now, is the point I was getting to before I Okay. This is Politics and Paper. By a gentleman I actually don't recognize. Intriguing. But it's Seb Gorka roasting Alex Jones. So how can I do anything but love that? Gang, this is a suggestion from Pinkerbell, and it's Seb Gorka getting roasted roasting Alex Jones. It's by a stream called Politics and Paper. Let's see if we like it.
Was real. He couldn't believe what was going on. He was seeing all this stuff. And how about the kids disappeared? That's the right.
So my man's just snorted. He just let out a mighty snort. Oh, and look at his face right here. Look how he looking. He look like he about to let that shit out too.
Guy isn't Jack Ryan.
But you can tell. Come on. You could tell by his voice. He knew the threat level was real. He couldn't believe what was going on. He was seeing all this stuff. And how about the kids disappeared? That's the crazy part.
Right. And he's
that made watching this whole clip very worth it because I didn't listen to a goddamn thing that they was talking about. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I didn't listen to a single word that these motherfuckers said. But hearing the snort, that made it even more appropriate that we watched this till the end because first we got Sebastian Gorka. That's why I even know who he is. That's the only reason I remember who he is because I just like how that just slips off the tongue. Sebastian Gorka.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah. And now we know that he snorts when he laughs. It's just perfect.
And he was seeing all this stuff. And how about the kids disappeared? That's the crazy.
That shit was cute as fuck. cute ass snort.
This type, and how about the kids disappeared? That's the crazy.
That shit makes me giddy.
On, he was seeing all this type, and how about the kids disappeared?
Hey,
is he doing that just
alpha
over and
males
over?
snort when they laugh, because that's kind of Sebastian's. That's kind of his shtick. That's kind of his thing. That's what he does. Like, he's alpha male. So if you don't snort, you a bitch.
Going on, he was seeing all this type, and how about the kids disappeared? That's the crazy part.
Right. And he's never apologized for any of that BS. He's just a clickbaiting sad sack who's never ever going to amount to anything. He's like a dollar store version of Alex Jones. Is that his name, Eric? Is it Alex, the big fat guy?
That is indeed Alex Jones.
All right.
And I gotta say, like, this is probably the least
fat people call other people fat. Sebastian Gorka. A man who just fucking oinked, calling somebody else fat. Oh man, we having fun today. God damn.
Because it's not about Gorka, who's a nobody, wasn't even conservative.
They got him next to McLovin. Oh, what kind? Oh, look at this. My dude's got on the 1970 fucking suede vest. Look at how smooth he is with a scope. He got a scope on that rifle. He finna hit your ass from a mile or two away. Look, he ready.
Now look, a gentleman can wear a vest from time to time and make it work. That's all I'm saying. Okay? A gentleman can wear a vest from time to time and make it work.
Ready to go. Hold on. Look at, okay. His right wrist, he got on some type of, like, bracelet band. I kind of fuck with that. And what color is that? That look like it's slightly pink. Either the shirt that he has on is a slight pink or an off-white. It's one of those. Probably more likely an off-white. It just looks like that with the tint that I'm looking at right now. Yo, this dude is fly as fuck, man. You can't even lie. Don't hate on Sebastian. Look at, and man, bruh, get the fuck out of here. You better hide your woman. You better hide your wife. You better hide everybody. Because here comes Mr. Gorka. Goddamn.
Into the Trump administration with fraudulent credentials, lied that he was a combat veteran. None of that was true. He's stolen glory. He's the snake oil.
It actually is a great color for a dress shirt, Mike Boy. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. The off-white, the off-pink, that shit does look good. But not a good combination with the suede vest. Or perhaps it's just because he was wearing it. But we'll never know.
Well, salesman, he's everything he says we are. But I learned the day I was there that Gorka was going around having people thrown out. I just go, whatever, don't engage the gay whales, what I call him. I'm not saying he's actually gay, but he's very effeminate.
What did he say? The gay whales? Oh, the whales is gay now.
Frogs originally, I do dearly love that they're infighting. Ooh, I love that. Side note, do you know anybody who watches Alex Jones? Shame them for it. What's the matter with you? This guy harassed the parents of school shooting victims. People got their kids murdered. Let me try that again. These people's kids were murdered, and Alex Jones took the worst thing that can happen to somebody and found a way to twist the knife. He found a way to make it even worse. He got internet weirdos, like the people you know, if you're talking to them, say, internet weirdos like you, to harass them, to harass the parents of murdered school children. King monster. Stop watching him now. I don't care if you find it entertaining. You're a bad person for giving him even one view, even one click. That makes you a terrible human being. You should feel bad, and you should know I think less of you for that, for having to be told this. I will think so very much less of you if after this conversation, after You were told directly, stop watching that monster and why you should stop watching that. After that, you continue to do it. I think very, very little of you. That's a good thing for them to hear. There's something wrong with them that makes them, for whatever reason, think it's okay if I support this guy, even though he harassed the parents, murdered children. They should hear just out loud what they're doing. They should understand that that's how you see them. That's who they are. The InfoWars.
That's a whole lot of gay in one living organism. So you extra better watch out. We went from gay frogs to gay whales.
He's the gay whales, what I call him. I'm not saying Dakota was going around having people thrown out.
Look at all these notes he has. Like he's such a studious researcher. Why he got all these goddamn notes? The fuck you be doing?
I spent all goddamn night researching this. I've been putting this together. I've been putting this project together for the last 2.5 months.
Like, bro, what the fuck are these notes? You could say every single last thing that you say on your show off the top of your goddamn head, which is probably what you do to a majority of a degree. I'm sure he knows what he's going to talk about, like anybody else who gets in front of the camera. But look at all these goddamn notes. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
I just go, whatever, don't engage the gay whales, what I call him. I'm not saying he's actually gay, but he's very effeminate in these pictures.
Oh, he's a gay whale. Okay, so the whales aren't gay. Okay, so thank God, Jesus Christ. Because that would be bad fucking news if we had gay whales swimming around. The frogs is cool because, you can just kind of step over the motherfuckers. It's all right. But a whale, nah. And Aaron, your ass went whale watching recently, so you extra lucky because you like to do things like that. You inspire me to do some shit like that. But, luckily for you and anybody interested in that, it's just Sebastian Gorka. He's the gay whale. But
I mean, we're splitting hairs here, but it's fine if the whale's gay. For the record, the whale, listen, whales, live your life. You only got one. Have fun. Your life. Go meet another gentleman whale and have lovely gentleman whale sex. I have no idea what Alex Jones is. I have no idea what he's trying to say. And the commentator here has not made it clear. And I don't think it's possible for him. Let's just move on. The fuck is he talking about?
But the whales themselves ain't gay.
Actually gay, but he's very effeminate in these pictures with guns, posing with them, and he's always sashaying around, shaking his booty, going, Gorka.
Does he really do that? Does Sebastian Gorka really do this? We are having this is the best stream ever. We got the resolution is a bit off when I maximize my screen, but we are having a good time because I did not know that Sebastian Gorka did this shit. I had no idea.
I'm just gonna leave it there. I'll leave it right there. Why would you take anything Alex Jones has to say seriously? Anything at all? I don't know why you'd take anything Sebastian Gorka has to say seriously, but at least you could be forgiven for saying, well, I don't know anything about any of these things. So Sebastian Gorka was the first person I was going to listen to, and he sounded fancy. He's from some kind of Europe. So, that's why I was listening to him. But when you see Alex Jones doing that to make a point, surely some flags went up. Surely, at least a yellow card went up. You thought maybe I'd better make sure this isn't an internet conman lying to me. Surely that happened. Mother of pearl. Well, it was a good suggestion. I liked it. a lot. I like that guy. Was that fella on the letterheck? Am I mad if you're there? Did you interview that guy? I think so. Regardless, politics and paper. Oh, you did. It's politics and paper. So go check out the channel. He seems like a fun fella, and he's willing to cover these right-wing psychos. And I rarely am, but I think it's good that they get some coverage. So you don't have to click on a psychopath's webpage to know what your insane neighbor believes. What a world. Let's see what the Wicked community has to say. I saw delightful. Jackson White, says Pinkerbell. Yeah, fair enough. PNC Bio. Bio? What? PNC Bio. They're making the whales gay. Yeah. Yep. Wicked Foxy Dragon. Whales probably are happy. Or whales are probably happy. Yeah. Obsessive Audio. It's hard because none of us speak the dialect. I assume you're talking about whale. And, yeah, it's true. I only... intro to Porpoise. Donald James X. I want to see a full cap contest between Alex and Gorka on stage. I would love to see that. Saucy Sea Witch. Whales actually practice gay sex while being young males. Oh yeah, you don't want to embarrass yourself for the first time from a lady, with a lady, and so you practice, buddy, and do attitude. End of a mop. Anti-corporatist. He thinks everything is gay. He's like Jason Biggs in Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah. This motherfucker, I think just would truly like to have a roll in the hay with a gentleman and can't get it out of his mind. I just enjoy himself on an afternoon, buddy, and a bottle of bubbly. Get it out of his system, and he could stop bothering folks. PNC Bio. They started with the frogs, and now they're making the whales gay. Saucy Sea Witch. Dolphins also. Yeah. Wicked Foxy Dragon. Frogs are asexual. They change sex to reproduce. Fun. Anti-corporatist. Damn it. Now I want to listen to that gay frog song. Oh. Donald James. Great clip, Jake. I missed his stream today. Well, delighted to bring it to you, my friend. Wireless Mike. Dolphins will hump you in the water. They love sex, and they don't always go for the opposite sex, but they do love people. Yes, and so says, indeed, a dolphinologist. Saucy Sea Witch. So how many lemon parties have these guys participated in? Oh my god. The comment under it, I just jumped down. Is that... Bio. Is that Alex's cum face? Yes. That is the exact face he makes. Coming to... the anti-corporatist... I'm going to scrooch down a lither bit. The anti-corporatist. Man, my phone is an envy. It changes every that of mine to a they. Fair enough. Wicked Foxy Dragon. I clicked on your channel, Jake. Well, all right. Saucy Sea Witch. Ooh, really? I enjoy watching the interviews of the Nutters. Yeah, I do too. I just haven't been able to figure out a way to do it productively. Like, I think Sam Cedar does it productively, but I don't have his maturity. I just get all mad. And ooh, these bastards. Friday Peace Talks was initially going to be my attempt to do that. But stop doing it. Start doing it. Yeah, all right. They'll do that again. You need Dory, says Saucy. I agree. The anti-corporatists. The ones that terrify me are the Humboldt squid. I don't think that they sexually you, but they hunt in packs and are really intelligent and very aggressive. Imagine a pack of tentacles coming at you. An anime girl's nightmare or dream. Depending on Saucy Sea Witch, we have more great white sharks here lately with the warmer waters and more seals on Sable Island. Dun dun. Well, that seals it. Going to Canada. And to Corporatus, I picked up what you were laying down, Foxy. Oh, right. Wicked Foxy Dragon, because you were saying we didn't have to click on a crazy person's channel. And now, after having it patiently explained to me, get the joke. Thank you. Gang. Good pal of mine. Premiering an interview. We're going to switch on over to it. If you enjoyed the show, leave a like. This has been WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. My name's Jake. But heads up now. If you don't want to go over to the letter hack, bon voyage. I'll see you around. Because that's where we are going to head after this. See you around, gang.